然后后来我也不知道从何开始嘛，然后因为我要学的是爵士，就当时在台湾好像不太，我觉得现在爵士乐发展很快，就是短短几年就变很多人，但我记得我那时候要出国的时候其实找不太到资源，然后我就先从爵士钢琴开始学，然后我就在 Google 就在网络上面打说 Jazz Vibraphone 就是爵士铁琴，然后我想要去参加夏令营，就是那种暑假可以出去的，对，然后我就找到只有一个夏令营，就是全世界那时候对，然后就在美国，因为这是一个等一下可以聊，这是一个非常稀少的乐器，然后对，然后那时候我就找到这个夏令营，然后就去，然后我那时候就是完全没有第二个觉得不要去的念头，然后就去，然后那时候 Tony 我的老师就是这个夏令营的，就是策展人这样子。对，然后我就去他那夏令营，然后他就特别照顾我因为当时我去的时候，我们在德拉瓦州 Delaware，然后去的时候，我记得那一次去就一进去，整个房间都是白人男生，整个房间都是，然后大概年纪是落在大概40、50岁这样子，然后
等一下，为什么这么多？我不要说老先生，但是中年呢？为什么？
也除了40、50岁以外，也有另外一群是那种大概10几岁的小朋友，对，但就是没有中断，没有中断。然后我就一个人中断，然后又是亚洲人，然后又是女生，然后走进去了，对吧？然后所以老师就也特别知道，就是我是从很远的地方来。
哇哦，
对，很远的地方来，所以他就特别照顾我。然后，因为你可能在夏令营里面要跟老师上课，都要另外付钱。可是老师那时候就帮我上课，然后就没有收我钱，这样就对我很好。
哦，哇哦，
对，因为他可能大家进去的时候都可能也不太会操作，或者就是技巧不太好。但是那时候我是古典嘛，所以我就是技巧很好这样子，但我不会即兴。对，然后我就去夏令营，然后老师就觉得天哪，我怎么可以打这么厉害，但是不会即兴这样子。没有后面的我加，但是他心里应该 always 说，怎么可以技巧这么好，但是完全不会即兴这样，所以他就可能觉得我很有潜力吧，然后就对我特别好。然后后来回来台湾之后，我就有跟他保持联络。然后我觉得其实很多事情都是靠 connections 啊，对吧？对啊，因为他已经知道，他已经知道我是就是不管怎么样都要学这件事情，就是飞很远，然后就是很奇怪的很奇怪的一个暴冲女子。对，所以当时他是学校老师，所以他当时就一直跟学校的那个的头说，这个人他英文没有考过标，然后他也不会即兴，但是你就是给我，对，你就是给我看他的古典乐的那个影片，然后跟他 Skype， 跟他讲，就是真人讲话对谈，看他英文行不行这样子啊，然后我就进那个学校了，对。所以其实有一点是不是走一般正规的那个考试的体制进去？我觉得，
我记得你去的是费城嘛，对不对？是费
城，
对吧？费城，
费城，费城，
对，OK， 好，那其实小小的补充一下，就是我后来发现，就是我刚好有专访到几位音乐，就是有去国外念音乐的同学，好像都有参加一些夏令营。你是不是会很推荐？你会很推荐吗？就是说大家去参加这种
很推荐啊，
音乐节或者是一些训练的营队。
应该是不是很推荐，应该就是必须参加。对啊，因为你也要先了解一下当地的天气，然后还有整个 town， 你是不是喜欢那个 city， 然后你喜不喜欢这个教你的，你未来要教你的这个老师，对啊。
OK， 完全有道理。可是，在别的乐器也都是吗？你觉得？因为我知道你的乐器真的很特别。可是，如果别的乐器呢，像是I don't know， 别的。
绝对也是，其实像古典，我们以前在念书的时候，大家都会暑假、寒暑假就是去参加夏令营的时候，就会飞去欧洲，然后各种夏令营，那就是你要做 connection 的时候啊，你先让那里的人听到你拉嘛，你人就是整个人在那边，然后你的人的感觉， 你的整个学习的精神，然后你也要习惯一下老师啊，对。
OK， 而且其实我好奇的是啊，就是 connection， 因为我为什么会其实在专访的时候，就我们今天这个访谈会拉到这么，你不能说这么久远啦，就是说拉到比较开始，就是你开始这条路的最初，是因为我还蛮多同学会跟我说，他们其实在出国其实最害怕的一件事情就是到底要选什么学校，而且最害怕的事情就是不知道怎么去跟对方建立 connection。然后比如说讲个最简单的，就算你飞到那个音乐营了，像刚刚那个状况是因为你刚好这是一个唯一的一个中段，然后亚洲女生，然后这样飞这么远来，可是如果说他就是一般的，我们就是一般就是可能 mingle 在一群白人啊，或者是一群同学生之间，到底要怎么样去脱颖而出去建立 connections 啊？你觉得你有一些建议吗？
这个有，但是我觉得这个真的很难欸。我觉得这个就是你我觉得这就是你的个性欸，就是你就是要把你自己就是很真实的展露出来。我觉得没有别的办法，因为如果你假装或者你故意去攀关系，人家也感觉得出来嘛，对不对？但是我觉得我有一个建议，就是你可以去对，你可以去了解一下，就是对方不是对方，就是你可以去了解一下文化这件事。就是你
怎么说？
我觉得交朋友真的不能老师，我觉得好像收讯有点乱乱的。
什么东西？
你有没有觉得？我觉得我讲完话，好像你很久很久才会回复。
对耶，我觉得可能是因为 IG 有一点 lag，你等一下，因为我其实现在在看，如果是 FB 的画面的时候，它其实是会那个的，就是它其实也会是 lag 几分钟的，所以我刚刚没有发现，就是这个就是 IG 没有办法，你现在你可以在那个 IG 这边再讲一讲话吗？
我觉得好像又好咯。
对，它就是一阵一阵，现在我又可以听到你的东西，还蛮直接的。我跟你说没有关系，我先再一次跟 IG 上面的朋友们预告，因为其实你的很多朋友，我看到你很多朋友跑进来听我们讲，但是我真的很不好意思，就是我们那个 IG 真的很容易断线。然后呢，我其实你知道我还要点开，因为就是刚好你不是有帮忙转贴那个文章，就今天晚上的活动，然后你有贴在那个 Facebook 上嘛，然后就看到你的国外朋友还特别问说，就是这个 interview would it be in English？ 然后我超尴尬，我好想按赞说 could it be？
老师，我们应该可以做英文的啊。
我可以呀，我的意思是我刚刚想到就是说，我们如果聊一些东西，然后我们就切成英文聊的话，我是可以的 ，I can do this。对，但是我怕的是就是那个就是一开始我们就全用英文，然后大家台湾的听众就直接关，不是。
很难，因为现在会留下来的可能也是就是可能中文讲中文，所以讲英文的一进来听到是中文就已经离开了，所以我们不用换，我们就待在舒适的中文就好了
啊。真的吗？可是其实我是都可以啦，而且其实我是觉得，如果说你觉得哪一些部分你想用英文特别去表述一些什么的话 ，you can let me know。就是说我原本刚刚有想到的一个是，我等一下可能会问到你的专辑的这一块，然后还有一些你 performance 的经验的这一块。如果说你想用英文讲的时候，好不好？我这里也没有要评分，对不对？所以呢，这边我觉得
你这个脸没有要评分。但是我不要用英文讲。
好 ，no pressure，no pressure，OK，no pressure，no pressure，no pressure。这是咖啡吗？对不对？现在要开始喝咖啡了，对不对？
没有，是水，真的。我人生怎么会需要咖啡？
不是，我现在只是想说，我现在给你很大的压力，你开始喝水。我们又要歪楼了啦，我们又要歪楼了。
好，不要歪楼回来。
对，可是我是有想过，如果可以的话，好不好？就是 maybe， 就是我们等一下，
好啊。
因为其实就算是，因为我们这支影片，就是到时候我会把它剪接好，我们可以把歪楼部分剪掉，但是呢，我可以把影片剪接好，然后放在 YouTube 频道上。如果说你觉得哪一些部分你是很想用英文再讲的一次，我觉得没有任何问题。而且你知道，虽然现在台湾时间已经慢慢逼近深夜，但是我今天晚上就是没有要睡觉，就是陪你聊天就对了。 对，有没有很赞？
不行，老师，我跟你讲，我1点要教课，所以我1点要走。
哈哈哈哈哈！
好，1点要走。
我还有压力嘛？对对，OK， 好，我不要弄你了。但是其实就我觉得就是文化，你刚刚我们讲到这一块啦，哈，就是说如果说因为你就是去美国嘛，对不对？我真的也很想知道你怎么跟他们 mingle 不要再跟我讲说什么交很多个男朋友啦，除了这一招之外，
没有这种，除了这一招之外，好，我觉得就是一开始你当然也不会知道自己没有 mingle 进去，你一开始就是你一开始那个感官没有打开嘛，你刚到，然后你只想着课业，只想着就是。而且我们又是亚洲来的，就是很注重课业，然后你老师给的功课练琴，每天都在做这些事情，你不会去想说跟他们有什么交流或干嘛，比较难。对，然后可是时间久了之后，你就开始觉得说，我真的好像没有办法跟他们变成朋友，就是好像就是很没有办法讲话那种感觉。可是再待久一点之后，然后你再认识更多人之后，你就会开始觉得说，人就是人，就是大家都是一样的，没有说什么你今天是白人，今天是黑人，我今天是亚洲人，然后我还是从台湾来的，会有不同。就是到后面你就会变成说，天哪，人就是人就是你，可是当然是很不一样，就是吃的东西会很不一样嘛。然后还有你成长背景很不一样，或者是他们有时候做一些事情，让你整个下巴掉下来，就觉得你怎么会做这种事？就是可能可以迟到很久，或者是可能就是可以就做事情的态度跟习惯真的很不一样。但是我觉得撇除这些不谈的话，人最里面那个个性的东西其实是很可以交流的。对啊，所以你如果去一个 party， 或者你去一个场合，或者是你刚刚说的要做 connection 的时候，我觉得你就是去看说你眼前要跟你讲话的这个人，他就是一个人啊，然后但是他可能就是不是跟你在同一个文化长大，然后他不是跟你讲同一个语言，但是你要觉得你是跟另外一个灵魂在讲话，你不需要你不要觉得说害怕，就说自己英文不够好，或者说什么自己会不会很奇怪，或者很亚洲。我很长的时候都跟他们在聊天的时候，我就说你看不出来吧，我就是那个亚洲人，就是我就会直接开那种就是比较亚洲，就是这种玩笑啊，或者说什么你不知道我很会算数学吗？我是亚洲人，我怎么会不会算数学？就是我都会直接就是调侃。对，就是我觉得有时候加就有时候就加一些这种调侃，就觉得就是他就是都是人。对，就是我觉得所以做 connection 的时候，你就会觉得你就是尽量去一种同理心的感觉吧，就是去聊天啊。
但是我想讨论的事情是，如果说面对歧视怎么办？像是其实刚刚你讲到在酒吧里表演的时候碰到的事情，其实有一个层面上也是对我们的 stereotyping， 就是对我们还是有一些亚洲女生或是亚洲人的刻板印象，然后造成的一些行为举动，有一些甚至真的就像你说会造成一些不舒服，那你是怎么去处理？
没有处理，就是不舒服。
对，没错，我觉得对。没有，我想问的是这个，I mean， 刚刚听起来的意思就是说，不管你是吓到了，或者觉得你怎么这样，或者后来也是习惯知道这样的事情会发生，可是其实就好像你没有出现很过激，就是很过度激烈的反应或是什么耶？好强大。
之前其实。就之前就是我不是之前就是我一直都有在一个爵士乐排练室打工，然后那个排练室就是每天会进来形形色色各种不同的人，然后通常他们看到我，他们就觉得我是拉小提琴的，然后我不会爵士乐，在我这个脸，我这个长相跟我这个定位在美国很多地方，而且我还在纽约，在纽约都有这个情况，就他们很会过来跟
我在思索小提琴跟你的脸，好不好？我在思索好，然后
因为我们在台湾长大，我们看就是每一个人是拿不同乐器嘛，
对。
但是在我这个外在这个定位，你在美国，你就是一个拉小提琴的亚洲女生，对，所以很多时候我在打工的时候，人家会觉得说。Do you know what is quarter-inch cable？ 就是那个吉他那个线， 就是那个就是爵士乐手，大家就一定会知道，但他们就觉得我不知道这个线是什么东西，然后或者是有些人会说，Do you know what's jazz？ 就是 do you improvise? Do you play improvised music？ 就是他们会很多问这种问题。我还记得有一次就是，对，但是我不不会生气啊，因为我会觉得说，就大家都有刻板印象嘛，那是因为对彼此文化不够了解啊，那我自己又对人家文化有多少了解？对啊，说不定在我眼前问的这个人也是我完全想不到他在做些什么事情，所以我觉得有时候不要生气，也是因为你有同理心给他。下面有人说直接即兴给他看，
你好强，对，直接即兴给他看。
对，下面有人说
没有，这好强大。
之前
我觉得就是好强大哦，可是我觉得好强大。你即兴了吗？你即兴给他看了，真的。
后来有一次，就是不是同一个人，但是也是来工作室的客人这样子，然后后来就发现，听得到吗？现在？
等一下，我们的 IG 又怪怪的了。你看，我们的 IG 就是很奇怪。
我可以看这边。
你等我一下哦。我刚刚在调侃你的那一段，然后我就没有听到你的回应了，太可惜了啊！我们的 IG， 等一下，我知道你在讲什么啦。其实芊芊，我大概知道你在讲什么，只是纯粹在就是我们那个，就是我现在在 IG 上面，你的 IG 那边是不是也听不到我说什么
？IG 完全打住。
真的吗？好 ，OK 啊，好吧，我还是跟一下在 IG 上面在收看我们讯息的朋友，你看它断线了吧？
那要再加入吗？再次加入吗？
你看它整个断线，我这个地方它整个就是直接 blank out 了，对。
还有人在讲话
对，可是现在我这边的 IG 是整个关掉了。对，等一下，我就跟你说吧，就是会出现像这样的事情。对，好，所以呢，好啦，我们直接用 FB 吧，那我们就只好继续用 FB 了。我们真的不是可是这样子是真是没有办法了，真的。
我们能再加入一次 IG 吗？
什么？
我们不能再加入一次 IG 吗？
你要再试一次吗？我可以啊。
可以啊，再加入一次 IG 啊。
OK 啊，不然我真的好想听你刚刚的直接反应哦，就是哈哈哈即兴给他看，你等我一下。好哦，我现在在加。
因为我们在 Facebook 还在 Live， 对不对？
对，我们在 Facebook 都是 Live。嗨，大家，不好意思，我们刚刚的 IG 整个停掉跳掉了，所以呢，我们现在等一下哦，我再加一次 OK。但我们
人就会继续 follow 啊。
好，各位 IG 上的朋友，真的不好意思，我们刚刚就这样子很开心的跳开了，然后我正在期待芊芊的反应，然后就跳开了。好 ，OK， 好了，我们又继续开始了。希望这一次的 IG 不要再一直跳开了。好，
好，又回来了。
对，好，反正如果等一下又对，如果等一下要不行的话，我们赶快就直接回到 FB 这样。好，所以再次跟就是现在在 IG 上面的朋友道歉，就是我们 IG 的稳定度不够高，所以呢，就是如果等一下我们的画面又消失，我们会尽量再连线一下，但是呢，我们也会回到脸书上继续直播。好啦 ，OK 的，哇，那脸突然间贴得好近哦，芊芊。
我要看谁加入了，都是我的好朋友们。
是啊，对啊，就是其实大家都应该蛮想要听很多你的故事，会吧？
应该说，就是我都有跟大家聊天过。Antonio Hart， 老师进来，可是老师只会讲英文。
那我们要讲一下英文吗？我们可以切英文哦。各位在 FB 脸书上的朋友们，我们切一下英文好了，稍微讲一下就是我们现在在干什么。好，来 ，OK， so actually today's interview is like this rare opportunity so that I could like invite my former student Qian Qian to share her experiences in America, and we've been talking about actually some of the early experiences. I mean, we were just talking about like how you deal with the different culture and different people. And Qian Qian told us that actually she just treated everyone like human beings, right? So actually, if you try to understand that everyone comes from just different places, then actually you're more tolerant and you can actually mingle better. Is that what you're trying to say though?
That's perfect.
No, I was just trying.
My English teacher.
No. I was just trying to like get what you want to really express, and I really admire like your attitude. I really believe that it's very hard. Like for me, I can speak the language. I mean, I sort of know a lot about American culture and stuff, but sometimes, in terms of like social life or, to really deal with people, I still get shy sometimes. But I think that you can really just, get into their hearts and you can really like become one of them. I really admire that.
And I also feel like the way you speak in English make so much more sense. I think it's really hard to explain something like that in Chinese, but you just treat everybody like human being and you just talk to them. That's it. 但你要用中文说就很难啊，你就是要很难。
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, but then I have other questions, like especially I really want to know more about like start from the beginning when you arrived at the States and you started to to learn and to explore jazz. I mean, was that you decided to learn jazz like right at the beginning, right in the very beginning, right? Or
you mean when I started to take lesson with you
in grad school? Yes.
Yeah, because I was in a percussion group.
Yes.
And I didn't really like the environment because we had to drink so much. And in Asian culture, like you gotta dress up and drink and sell the tickets and all that stuff. So I didn't really, because a lot of time I would just get so drunk and I will be like puking in my dormitory, and my roommates had to literally taking care of me. So I really didn't like that, and I feel like that's the only way, because that was the only way. Like we have so many those dinner meetings that you need to dress up and you need to drink, and you just have to do those things to be able to build up the name for the group. So I didn't really like that. But the thing is, I didn't really realize why I was not happy. To that one point, I really want to get into car accident.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I just get a little bit car accident. Not too bad, but like I can change my,
What?
Yeah. So I would,
You didn't tell me that. I never heard that part before.
Yeah, because I always feel like really weird to speak in Chinese and talking about this, because I feel like I have to respect.
Do you need me to translate?
No, you don't have to translate.
I don't have to translate.
English.
Okay, yeah, so this is the first interview in English, like throughout my entire like history of this interview.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
And also, I actually didn't talk about this in public, but I remember when I was making my first album, my producer was interviewing me over the phone because we want to put some of my story into the album. So you can hear like 3 songs on my record. It's there is a voice. That's my voice speaking under the music. You couldn't really hear it, but the thing is, in that interview, I was actually telling my producer about the whole true story, the reason why I started to play jazz. Like I didn't even know what's the reason behind it, but I just feel like I had to leave. Yeah, I had to go somewhere, and I had to do something that's not that related to what I did. So I didn't. No one can control me. Yeah.
I see.
So, that was it.
Actually, because I heard like just this tiny bit of the story, like before I think maybe during our English classes, sometimes you would talk about your work, but you didn't say that much, you just told me that you had some dinner engagements and you had to go, and then you got really tired, and I thought that maybe it was because you performed all the time, so you were tired, but actually you might be tired because you had so many occasions when you have to drink a lot. And I know that you were not very happy at the time. I thought I knew a little bit because you told me a little bit about, the circle. I mean the circle in Taiwan, and the percussion circle especially. And I was a little shocked, honestly, because the group you belong to in Taiwan was actually pretty famous, and you told me a lot of things that happened there. And I actually, when I was considering like sending my kids to the to the class, I was a little worried, but I know that you told me they were very kind to kids, but inside, like, the people there were, this is tricky. But actually, I was really glad that you could, get out of that. And I was really glad that I am really glad that I can hear that you can talk about it frankly, and you can share your experience now. I mean, you're so far away from home, but also you're free. I could say that you're totally free.
Okay,
right?
there. Warren Wolf is in the house. He's like one of the most amazing vibraphone player on the planet.
Wow.
So he's here now.
It's an honor. It's an honor. Actually, it's a really great honor for me to have you on my interview. And we could continue doing this, like, speak English and forever. Okay, so you can invite your friends, okay, to hear us speak, okay, no problem. Yes, but I might have to translate this somehow into Chinese later for the audience in Taiwan, maybe. But I know you were not very happy when you were preparing everything, but I think you were really very brave, because it was also a huge change, and it would be a change of your career path, and it would be a change of your life. And now it's happening. I mean, I'm really glad that you made that decision to study abroad, and you just did it. That was really cool.
That
was really cool.
I feel like you just really have to feel what you feel in every moment, because I think I didn't realize the reason I had to leave, but I just feel like I was not that was not the things that was not the thing I wanted to do. And still, like, I still get so many things like that here in the States, but
yes, but in fact, that's another thing that I really admire you about, is that you can it's just like you are sitting here, okay, Saturday morning, like a casual chat with me, and it seems like all the worries and all the concerns are gone, and you look so I wouldn't say normal, but I would say that you look so confident. But then behind all this, I mean, actually, you've been through a lot. I mean, you've really been through a lot, and that's why I admire you, because you can always look kind of like nothing has happened. But then a lot of things have happened. Okay, so really, honestly, I have to say I really admire that. When I was preparing for our interview today, I was like really hoping to get more out of you, like about the education part. But actually, another part of me want to know your thoughts, and maybe how you feel along the way. Like, for example, you mentioned actually in our last interview that you worked so hard when you were studying. You said that it was like you just sort of like lived in your school, right? You worked so super hard. And could you talk about a little bit about your experience there in Philadelphia?
I think I was always working really hard when I was even like in high school or middle school. But I didn't know why. I feel like it's because I always want people to see my best side. I I didn't know what's the reason, but I was always working really hard, and it gets worse. I just wanted to work all the fucking I shouldn't say, but I just really want to work.
May I just ask, are you really a workaholic just like me? I mean, I am a super workaholic. I mean, are you sure?
I am, but I feel like I chill out a lot. Right now, I kind of know I need to find a balance, right now. This is what I'm trying to achieve right now, because I feel like I was working a little too hard. I was pushing myself too hard to the point that
you are
to the point that I just feel I have self-doubts all the time. Like I feel like I suck so much all the time. And when I stop worry so much and I stop to work hard so much, I feel that self-doubt kind of went away, because I would just be like, yeah, of course I suck because I didn't practice, so it's much better.
I get that. Okay, so I'm gonna go like, you know what, I'm not there's a reason for how bad I am today. So because like something like that. All right, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this? Are you sure this is the way to go? I mean, but
no, because I already know I have to do the same thing throughout my whole life, right? This is my lifelong thing, and if I keep pushing this hard for too long, I'm gonna get burned out, so I start to feel like, okay, I need to have some life, I need to have some sleep, I need to go to the gym, so I feel like
you sound like a New Yorker. Come on, you sound like a New Yorker. Come on. Sorry, I'm not speaking for any New Yorker here, okay? Because I'm not from the States, okay? But what I'm saying is, you're like, I'm gonna just, go to the gym.
Okay, you know why? Because New York is a place to get shit done. You are in New York, and that means you want to get shit done. 对不对? So that's why okay. So that's why everyone in New York is so uptight. So aggressive, like the whole environment is just a lot of tension, and people want you to answer their question really fast. So that's why everybody wants to go out to gym, to chill out, to find a balance in New York, because people, I believe everyone got here and then they were just, really intense in the first couple years or month. And then later on, they start to try to find a balance, because you cannot be always that intense. So that's what I feel,
All right, okay.
所以老师你很适合来纽约 So you gotta come to New York.
Like, no. Okay, you know what?
我的朋友 my friend said, why do I feel like I live in the city right now? Did you see
my gosh.
She lives in Taiwan.
I can see your yeah, you know what? I might just, I might just get totally burnt out, and totally like, I don't know if I get to New York, okay? And I have a son right now, so his mommy is gonna go crazy like that in New York. Are you sure that's good?
No. You are good. You are all good. You can stay in Taiwan.
Well, no. Well, I have to say that a lot of my students told me that if you move just straight from Taipei, like Taiwan, to New York City, Manhattan, then you sort of like, you didn't go anywhere. It's just a modern and more advanced version of Taipei City. Okay. Yeah. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna go to California. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. No, yeah. But actually a lot of my students said that they just love New York because of the vibes and because of the people and the culture, and they could find a lot of things they need, like it's very convenient. It's sort of like Taipei, but I don't know. Yeah, I like New York.
Who say that?
No, I like New York. No, actually, okay, I'm gonna find that student and make her talk to you. No, actually, she interned in New York for the whole summer or something at an art gallery somewhere, and she told me that because she studied in California, like art, I think it's art management or something, and then she interned in New York City. So she told me that she finally could find this place to take the metro. And I said, actually, New York Metro is one of the things I hate about New York. But then she said, at least there's very convenient metro. I was like, okay.
And so it's 24 hours.
Something like that. So she feels at home. I was like, what's wrong with California?
Okay.
She lived like...
it's different.
But I think it's different. And actually, she was aware that it's different, but then it's just like, because in California you just have to drive a lot, and then she sucks at driving, and she said that she got into so many little accidents, like all by herself. She would just drive and then didn't pay attention and hit a trash can somewhere. I was like, what? How could you do that in the States? It was so big. And she was like, nah, and she hit a tree once. I was like, what? Are you sure you're in the States and not in New Zealand or somewhere? But anyway, we're totally off topic right now. We're totally off topic. But about your music, come on, about your music, we have to stay focused.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. But you said you were in Philadelphia. I mean, before you came to New York. When did you come to New York, by the way? Like
2017.
2017. Okay, so before that, you stayed in Philadelphia. Like
I was studying
for a year.
My master for 2 years.
2 years. Okay. So then, what was your? Come on, we're skipping Philadelphia. Come on, let's not do that. I mean, I like the city too. Do you like the city though? Like Philadelphia?
Oh, I love it. We were just there yesterday, me and my roommate. We just went there just for fun, just go back to chill.
Okay.
Yeah, so I really like Philly. I highly recommend. Everyone goes to Philly. Philadelphia is great. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, hold on a second.
Because they're...
Yeah, but the thing is, I go to so many cities because I tour a lot and I love Philadelphia. Okay, so everyone goes to Philly to study.
Okay.
Philly. I just love Philly so much.
No. You know that I lived there. I mean, I lived in Philadelphia for a year when I was little.
Yes, so, I remember.
Yes. So that's why I also love the city. Okay. And we were just talking about how great New York City is. And then we're now loving Philly at the same time. Okay. You realize the irony. No, I'm just... Anyway, but then, so I would like to talk a little bit more about your career. I mean, after you graduated, you just moved straight to New York, like right away or something?
Okay, I moved straight to New York because I didn't have any money, because my parents were not gonna give me any money anymore, because at that point I was already like 26.
That is harsh.
So
harsh
and the things I played, and the things I play jazz. So I was like, okay, this is not gonna make me any money, and I'm moving to New York, like the most expensive city in the world. So my boyfriend at that time, he was like, oh, do you want to move in with me? You don't have to pay rent. And I was like, deal. Yeah. Deal. So I'm glad that we need
to get a boyfriend there. Okay. No.
I'm glad that we are speaking English
we need to get
now.
A boyfriend. So
my mom.
Okay. You know what? We're gonna go on speaking English.
My mom cannot know about this. Yes, 我下面有朋友在那边比赞。
Okay, so we're actually... am I helping you, like hiding something? I feel like accomplishing this. You know what? All right, whatever. Okay, so you moved straight to New York. And how did you find your first jobs? I mean, when you just got to New York.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody in New York because I went to school in Philly, so I don't have any friends in New York. So I was like, okay, just let me print out my resume. And then I wanted to work in a rehearsal studio so I can get at least a space for me to practice, because me and my boyfriend had literally like a very small room, like a closet in New York. So there's nowhere for me to put my instrument or anything. So I just print out my resume and I went to a rehearsal studio that has vibraphone. So I can practice vibraphone in there. So you need to know vibraphone is a really rare instrument. So if you just go to a random studio, they will not have vibraphone. So I was like, I really hope that I can get this job so I can have a space to practice. So it's not just for me to get some money. It's more like I need a space and I need a little bit of money to survive, So I just hold my resume and I went in there and I just put on my resume on my manager's table and I was like, can I get a job here?
I like the tone. Like, can I get a job here? I love it. You look so naive and so cute. Like at that moment.
Okay. Also, hold on. So after a while, so I got a job, and after a while, I start to talk. I start to get become friends.
Wait. You just got the job. You just put down your
okay.
And you got a job.
No, so my boss actually gave me an interview the next day, and I was really nervous. And I went in there, and he asked me, "Have you ever done similar job like this before?" And I was like, "No." I just want to be honest. Yeah, I just wanted to be honest. And then he asked me, "So you ever done any kind of job besides music?" And I was like, yeah, I was kind of working for like a school and I had to call like parents. But I said, but that was in Chinese. I never done anything in English. I never done that. And my boss was like,
honest.
Yeah, very honest. I just didn't know how to do interview and stuff like that. And my boss was like, Chinese and English are the same. Don't worry about it. He just hired me.
You met some great people. You know what? You've met some great people. Okay, I have to say that. I wouldn't say it's just sheer luck, but then I would say, yeah, that was a very cool answer.
Yeah, because I need to tell you this. My boss is from Italy. So he's Italian. So when he was my age, when he was my age, he was also trying to find a space in New York. So he totally understand my situation. So he was like, Chinese and English are the same.
Okay.
And then he just hired me at that one point. and the thing is, after a while, I talked to my boss, and he told me the reason he hired me is because I just carried my resume and then getting to there. I didn't even send out any emails. I just went in there and then say I need a job. So he hired me because of that reason. Yeah.
Okay, so again, we learned some lessons here. Like, we just have to be very straightforward, and face-to-face interview, or connections are built this way, better than LinkedIn or any other email kind of stuff. Okay, and Italians are good people. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? Okay, so you got you got a space. I mean, you started to get some money, and the point is, how do you get yourself known to a lot of people? I mean, you have to perform, and you have to, you know, be out there so that everyone can know you. So how did that start? Like,
so I went to a workshop in Banff. Also workshop, now we're back, workshop. So I went to a workshop in Canada, Banff. And that's a really, really, really great workshop. So they will have different faculty. And those faculty are the musicians that's on the scene, you know, on the scene. Like who is playing on this jazz scene, the ones on the magazines and all the most active musicians. So they have those faculties,
well, actually,
like and teachers.
Hey, may I ask, like, if you want to join one of these clubs, is it, I mean, I'm summer camp or workshops. Is it really expensive though? Are they really expensive, these workshops and stuff?
They are really expensive, but they give out scholarships. So you just have to do it yourself. Yeah.
Oh my, so they have scholarships. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, because they're all, especially if the performers are, you know, all, you know, the famous people and those familiar faces, then the workshop should be expensive. So you actually get to know a lot of people there, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, I want to shout out to my friend. I met him in that workshop, but he actually was working in the restaurant, and he's also Taiwanese. So we were like, we met in that restaurant, and then we just found out each other. We are all Taiwanese, but I was there doing my music thing, and he was doing his program over there, and he was working in that restaurant. Yeah. So he's here in this chat.
The room right now.
In the room. He said here. Yeah.
Okay, I could see that. It's Mac, right? Is that Mac?
Yeah, Mac.
Okay, Mac. All right. So do we have to say that we Taiwanese are really great?
Yes. So I had some performance in that workshop, and one of the faculty saw me play. And then after the performance, he just came to me and he asked, "Are you moving to New York?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Can you give me your email?" And then I said, "Yes," because he's like one of the most, he's one of the most famous jazz trumpeter on the scene, Jeremy Pelt.
Gosh.
Yeah, he's also, we are still working together right now. Yeah, so he just came to me and asked my email. And at that time, I was just about to move to New York. Yeah, so I was not moving back to Taiwan at that time because I just graduated. So I moved to New York, and
so did you also have like this 1-year visa, like
like
right
OPT?
Right. Yes, OPT.
Yeah, the very, very dark period of time, I believe it's that year, because everyone graduates, and then the government give us 1-year visa for you to try to find a job, and you have no experience. So I think a lot of people went through it's really hard time for students during that 1 year artist. What's that year? OPT year. Yeah.
Yeah, OPT
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
my friends are
not
here.
just artists.
Oh, my friends.
Come on.
Oh yeah, everybody.
And we continue. And we are trying to continue speaking in English, okay? So that your mom would not really understand what we're talking about. I can't believe that this is the point of it. But anyway, no, it's not the point of all this. Come on, you have friends from abroad. And if you really want them to know like what you're saying and your experience, this is a good chance, right? Your stories, right? Okay, so we can do that. Okay, we'll keep on doing that. Okay, so everyone practice. If you're from Taiwan and you're my student right now down there, please practice your listening ability. No, I'm just kidding. But
today I really realized one thing. There are so many things I cannot say in Chinese. Like there are so
I get
many
that.
secrets.
I get that. Because I'm sort of like bilingual in a way. So I realized at a very young age that sometimes when you shift language, like when you change, like it's like a change of personality. When you're speaking a different language, you sort of become a different person in a way. Yeah, I totally get that. It's just, and then some things come out just naturally when you're using language. Yeah.
It's also like the stuff I share with you about my life when I was in the percussion group.
Yes.
That stuff I cannot say that in public in Chinese. And also a lot of things my mom don't know. I mean, I shouldn't say that, but it's like the culture.
I think she can still understand a bit of English. Are we sure we're going to?
No, it's like the culture. You also don't want them to know because they will worry, and they don't need to know. It's okay.
No, it's not okay. You know what? I disagree. I have to say that wherever I go, like, that I do not live with my family. I haven't lived with my family since I was 18. So I have to say that one thing that I do know is that your families will always be at your back. Like they will always be there. There are things we want to hide. I agree. But most of the time, okay, you have to say that for most of the time, they are still going to be the people that would always support your choices. I have to say that. Okay. All right. So I disagree. Okay. So I disagree. But then, and some things are, and I have to say also, there's another thing. I don't think some of those things are okay. You told me, and I still remember the day we were in Starbucks somewhere. I think we were having private lessons or something in TOEFL, and then we were in Starbucks somewhere, and you told me about those stories a little bit. And for me, when I learned about that, I can't remember, but I think I told you that it was not okay. It was not okay. All right. So I know you were in that position, in that situation. You have to get out. You just have to get out. But I have to say, it's never okay. And I didn't forget.
But also, but also I feel like that's too much energy. Like if I really want to deal with that, that's too much energy. So it's better for me just leave,
Agree. Agree. Yeah. I agree. And it's better for you. I mean, at least we can see right now that's better for you. I love your creativity. And I mean, if you haven't gone to the States, it would be impossible for you to create such wonderful albums. I mean, I think the music just come out of you. And it would be very difficult for you to do that or achieve that in Taiwan. So I totally agree. And you belong somewhere, Like some of my students would say that they are never used to the local culture or they are never used to something here and there. I say you're not one of them. You can get used to anything if you want to. Yeah. So I have to say that you are doing the right things. You are doing the right things. Okay. But as for the past is the past. Okay. So
I think that helped me a lot. My music career and the way I just musicianship that helped out so much. I got to learn so much. So I'm not nothing to
don't look back and don't look back in a way. Sometimes you can look back, but no, most of the time, no. But I want to move on, like, to your career. As I can't remember when, and suddenly you had a band. Okay, it was like, I know you posted, I know you posted some, pictures about your life in the States, but I think I didn't follow this like every day or religiously, so I didn't realize it's just like one day you had a band. Can you tell me how that happened? Just like how you suddenly have a band?
Because I always have my band, but it's more like the musician. I will change different musicians.
Sure.
It's not like a band that we always play. So yeah, so I always have my original composition ready to be played. But the musicians were always changing.
You work with different musicians. Okay.
Yeah, until I met my producer Richie Goods. He really put a band together for me, and also he's also my bass player, and also I just get into playing with the same group of people. Yeah, so it's not like all of a sudden one day I have my band. It's more like, I build up and I finally announced. So you will feel like, oh, Chen has a band now, but it's a process. It's a long process since I was studying in Philadelphia. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. See, I always tell my students that we usually only see just like the tip of the iceberg, I would say, like that's just this tiny bit, but we didn't see the hard work behind everything. But can you share a little bit about your tours? I mean, your tours are amazing. You've been to Europe, I believe. You've been to Europe, right, before the COVID-19 thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you probably toured around the States. So could you share like a little bit of the experience everywhere? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's actually not my band. I'm a sideman for this trumpet player Jeremy Pell, who came to talk to me when I was in Canada.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
So so I started tour with his band a lot, and we've been to Europe and Japan and a lot of places in the States, and. Yeah, I think it's a dream job because you get to see so many different things, but also it's just not real because when you come back to New York, I have to deal with the bills and I have to teach. I have to do the regular things, do laundry and everything. But like when you are on tour,
do laundry.
Yeah, when you are on tour,
I love it when you say laundry. Yeah, okay, I get it. Okay, the laundry of all the black clothes, I have to mock you on that. Okay, I have to laugh at you at that. Sorry.
Yeah,
okay, don't hate me. And then you have to get back to your normal life, sort of.
Yeah, so it's really fun to go on tour because you just play every day. And after you play, you talk to the audiences. Some people will come to you and talk to you, and you are making music every night. So it's a dream job. It's really, you get to grow so fast because you get to play, and you play with the same musician. You are not playing with, so you can really listen. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So because for music, you especially like improvising music, it's a lot about how you listen.
Wow, that's a good point. I get that, and it's a good point. But do you have any, like, because from what I know, you have to give up a lot of things when you're on the tour. So it seems like, for example, you're teaching maybe some students, but then you have to tell them I'm taking a leave, and then you have to go to different countries to adjust the time differences, and everything. Do you really like it, or are there some downsides to that?
Oh, there are so many downsides. But good thing is now I teach online, so I can pretty much move around the time. But the thing is, it's just really tiring, because I have like around 15, 18 students, and they have to have private lesson with me every week. So when I go on tour, it's just it's a huge thing. I have to move them around. And the thing is, they don't know what are you doing. You
didn't tell them,
sometimes I tell them, but I don't think they know the industry. They probably don't know a lot about it. But they are all so awesome. They are just like, okay, they are always available for me. So
hey, if I have a teacher like so great like you, I'd say that you can just, teach me whenever you can. Finally I have an hour with you, something like that. Like it's so hard to book the time, so I'd say that, yeah, I totally wait for you.
I really appreciate that. Like everyone was being so easy to deal with, and so that's a little bit hard to go on tour and you have to teach at the same time. It's just a lot.
But then for another thing is like the venues, like the places you go, like do you like them, or are there any challenges or anything because you play in different places, like maybe at this country you play in a jazz club and in this other place you play somewhere else. Are there some some challenges that you might face along the way?
I like pretty much all the venues. You get to experience different audiences. Their reactions are always different. And there are some, you will just make the most random friends in the most random country. And
most random country?
Yeah. Okay. Like the country you never thought you would been to,
go.
And so I think that's like a magic moment, and you guys just connect so well. You can share the same type of experience, and it's amazing. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. And I believe there are different cultures. Can you tell us a little bit like some interesting stories? Like for example, I know that in some cultures maybe the audience like to interact a lot with the musicians, or cheer in between, or maybe they buy you drinks, but I believe it's different in different countries. Have you encountered anything funny or something interesting that you can share with everyone?
I think people are always nice. That's the thing. Like people, but just they have different way to
express themselves.
Yes. So when we were in Japan, I think the audiences in Japan, they are really, really, they really like us and they really want to interact with us, and they are really, they just I don't know.
Because you mentioned Japan, I mean, you're like the Asian face, like in the band, right? Because you have an Asian face, and they probably wouldn't really know like you're from Japan, but then at least they know that you're Asian, like among the group. So does that make any difference though?
Yeah. So I remember before we had to go to Japan, they didn't really want to put my picture on the poster because they want jazz, like American jazz musicians. So that's, this kind of like racist stuff is everywhere.
And you said that with such
everywhere.
A casual tone, like,
because I don't want to
disappear from the poster.
I don't want to offend anybody, but I also want to share the truth. I don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to say this out because I don't want to offend anybody. But I'm just sharing the truth, right? Because they don't want my poster to be on the post, because people pay the tickets to come to see. I don't know. Yeah, like, and I'm Taiwanese, so, and also I'm not Asian American. I'm local Taiwanese. I'm just that little shit.
You just happen to be one of the greatest players.
Thank you. Yeah. But so those kind of stuff will just make me a little bit uncomfortable. But when you get to meet them or talk to them, it's all good. It's all stereotype, or like you just don't understand enough about the culture, But I remember I went to Japan and I met whoever invited us, the promoters. They are just the most sweet person in the world. Yeah, you wouldn't think they were doing that to you. Once when they meet you, They are all good. Yeah. So I think people really need to understand each other.
Nah, Japanese are Japanese. Taiwanese are Taiwanese. Okay, we're doing this again. But then anyway, you know what? Are there any Japanese in the room right now? Okay. But anyway, oh no. I really need to re-edit. Like I have to edit everything. Like this film.
Oh, okay.
Really. But anyway, but you've never been. I mean, have you ever thought of like inviting your band to Taiwan though? I mean, because you're from Taiwan. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I wanted to do that for such a long time, but because of COVID, I cannot bring them to there because they have to quarantine for 10 days and they will lose so many shows in the States. So I think now is not the time. Yeah, I'll wait for a little bit.
Timing is bad. But yeah, I can't wait like to take my kid to see you play in Taiwan. I mean, yeah, I might, but I have to be honest with you. I am so not good at attending any concerts or performances. I'm like this one person that could fall asleep during the Lion King show. You know, you can't, I just don't know how to explain this, but I was like one day in this, like the Taipei Arena, you know, and I know it was a late show or something. It was Sunday evening or something. I totally fell asleep. Lion King. I can't believe it's a musical. And it was during the time when Simba's father was killed by a bunch of, I don't know, animals rumbling through. I simply fell asleep. And woke up and his dad was dead. I was like, what? So I gave up like most of the musicals. Like, you know, I fell asleep again when I was watching Cats. And I fell asleep again when I was watching Cloud Gates. Can you believe that? This is never going to work for me. I will try to stay awake when I see you perform, but I have no guarantees.
You are so honest. I like it.
You know, I can
maybe that's just the way for you to get into the zone.
You know what? I can take a TOEFL test like for 4 hours straight and get full mark, but I cannot listen to a performance for 4 hours.
I cannot. If I read English for like 10 minutes, I fall asleep.
Shoot. See,
so we are different.
Yeah, I can hold on to your music a little longer than that. But then basically, you know, there's something wrong with my brain, with music. I know it's that. Different. I even learned how to play the piano. I mean, I know the music, but then it just, you know what? But I still look forward to the day when you can come to perform, and I will definitely show up, pay up flowers, and I might leave. Okay, but then but I'm gonna be there. Okay, I have to see you perform. Let's move on to your album. Actually, what brings you to this album? What brought you to this album? I mean, like you finally wanted to release your first album. Like I know this must be a dream come true for you. Then, like, what was the process like? Like you hatch this project and then finally one day you could just bring your music to the world. What was it like? I mean, the whole process.
I've been wanting to have my own record for a long time, even when I just moved to New York. But I remember I was so poor. I didn't have any money. So I remember my ex-boyfriend was telling me, no, you don't need a record. You don't need an album because you are going to waste so much money, you know. So he was telling me that to stop me to have a record. But I mean, I get it because, you know, back then we didn't have any money. But yeah, so but I left him. But not because of that, but I left.
Okay, you suddenly said you left him. Okay, we get that. But, we get the ex-boyfriend thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I know.
So no one was telling me don't release a record anymore. So I met my producer, Richie Goods, and he asked me, you have any album? You have any record out? I was like, no. And he said, then can I be your producer and just make one album with you together? So yeah, so that was the beginning of the whole journey. He wanted to be my producer and he wanted to put out a record for me. Like he wants to listen to my original songs. He wants to listen to what kind of songs I wrote. So yeah, so that was the beginning of the record, and we started to put musicians together, and I started to write more songs. And we booked a studio and we just went into the studio and record for 2 days, and there was a record. But there's a lot of stuff you know I had to do when I had to put that out, but this is a whole nother whole different topic, so I'm not gonna share this right now. Yeah, but it's a lot, but basically I want my project for a long time, and someone stopped telling me don't release a record, so of course I released a record.
Well, but then it was a huge success. I mean, like in Taiwan and in the States. I mean, that was really amazing. It's like, yeah, it's like your baby, and then it grow up and then become such a great thing. But I wonder, because you are like all musicians. I mean, I believe that you have those moments, and you just told me you have moments of doubts. Like sometimes you worry that you could not do very well, and there will be obstacles along the way, like maybe not exactly like the album. You said 2 days you finished it, and a lot of work, but then everything was done. But I believe there are obstacles. Like, how do you get through that? I mean, as a creative mind, how did you cope with all those difficulties?
I think the hardest thing for me is I didn't really like my composition. I didn't really like the stuff I wrote, and I didn't really like my playing. So it's all about self-doubt. Like I didn't really think that was the good directions. But yeah, my producer just kept telling me it's okay, it's good music, and you don't suck. It's gonna work. He had to keep telling me all that stuff all the time, because I was just having so much self-doubt, and I just didn't really like the composition on my record. Even now, I still don't really think that was the music I really like. I mean, but I had to get something out, right? So I just keep pushing through it. I just keep pushing through it. And
I was just about to say that that's a good reason to hatch album number 2. Okay, so that's gonna go. But then no. I remember you were I think you were like doing some fundraising for your album, and and you did a lot of promotion of it, and you look for some sponsorship everywhere, and then you just had it done. I mean the entire thing. And I like the is it an introduction? I mean, you had a YouTube film about like sort of the introduction of yourself. You introduced yourself to the audience. You filmed the process of you recording, the band recording together. I really think it's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's just very oh yeah, but that's stuff. You know what? When I saw it, I was like, this is Qian Qian, you know. This is you. I know this is you, and I know this is what you're gonna do. You will be with all those self-doubts, whatever, somewhere in your head, you will still be Qian Qian. You will be great. When you perform, you are a different person. You enter this different zone. I think you're just a different person. But then, well, I wonder what your observation of this is a broader issue, though. I wonder if I could bring up here. It's just because, well, you're from Taiwan, you're from Asia, but then what's your outlook? I mean, what's your perspectives of Asians studying music in the States? I mean, do you think there are a lot of opportunities for us, like to work or to stay in America? like as a musician, a performer? You're not, I mean, some of us, like Taiwanese students, would become a professor, maybe in a music, a conservatory or somewhere. But you choose a different path. You become a musician and a performer. It might be a harder path for a lot of people. So what do you think? Are there a lot of opportunities, though, for everyone?
This is so broad. Yeah, I don't think so.
No, just try to be honest. I mean, because we don't want to give people some illusions like this can all happen like in one day. I mean, I tell my students that like taking the TOEFL test is probably the easiest thing that he or she has to face in this journey. I mean, after that, you get to a totally foreign and very unfamiliar place and start a new life. You build your connections again from the scratch. And then you look for jobs and people turn you down. And there will be more like things happening every day and it's challenging all the time. So taking TOEFL or taking an English test is actually the easiest part. That's what I usually tell them. And a lot of students still have this dream of working in the States or to become someone in the States. But I tell them, from what I see, it takes a lot of work. So that's why I'm asking, like you are just the rare ones that can survive, right? Have you seen a lot of your friends like giving up and moving back to wherever they came from?
Yeah. So I don't think there are a lot of opportunities out there for
Asian performers.
I mean, on the jazz scene, you rarely see female musicians, and also you don't see Asian people that much. I mean, there are a couple very good jazz, like Japanese jazz musician, but you don't really see female musicians out there. So it's really hard, but also I haven't figured this out. I don't know how to answer this question, and I don't know. I'll figure this out, and I will share with you guys next time. But it's really tough.
So that means I can interview you again. Can we do that in Chinese next time? So
yeah, next time we can do that.
I can edit the films easier. No, actually my assistant is going to do that. She's gonna hate me. No, she's like, what? English one? I'm just kidding. No worries.
Yeah. But I will say because as female musicians, you at one point you need to have your kids, right? If you want to get into marriage. So a lot of musicians, they get a little bit older and they start to form a family and they have to take care of babies, or they have to get pregnant. You know, the pregnancy, it's just very hard for them to go on tour again. You know, and
but what about
and
you?
also,
what about you? What do you think?
So that's why I'm single.
You know, I haven't asked about your whatever status, okay? Now we know you're single, okay? Everyone, hello. All right.
No hello, because it's not going to work because I'm always out on tour. And the thing is, okay, you need to know another thing is I like
Is it
Asian.
Another secret?
Yeah,
okay.
I like Asian dudes.
Okay, you know what? Hey guys, everyone, listen up. Okay, all my students studying in New York or New Jersey, kind of, the same area, move to New York, find Qian, and go out on a date. No,
but the thing is, a lot of like Asian culture is more like guys has to be out making money, and when you guys have babies, the girl has to so it's like I mean, even though I like Asian dudes, but we still have that kind of stuff built inside. So it's just I just want to be friends with everybody. That's just so much easier. When I figure out, I figure out. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no doubt for that. Okay, so I mean, I'd say that like to balance your work with your life will always be everyone's. I mean, not an issue, but I would say that it's a problem, or it's something we need to think about. I mean, it's just like for everyone. I know that living in the States and being a female performer just make things worse. No, I'm just saying, I mean, just make things tougher. But I'd say that it's something we all have to face. Like I myself, I'm female, and basically, I wouldn't say there are a lot of female English teachers. Hello, but then I have to say that when you are the one to start your own business and you have a kid, still this society would give you a lot of responsibilities, and you just have to carry on, and you have to be the superwoman, and then to just be, to handle everything. You juggle. You're just juggle like now I need to take care of my kids, now I have to take care of my business, now I need to do this. It's just not. I don't think it's just it's a female thing, I guess.
But I think a lot of people, like not just female, like human beings, like in general, everybody has a lot of hard times, so there's no excuse for. I always feel like there's no excuse for me to feel like I cannot make it because I'm female or because I'm Asian. It's just you have your own issue, and everybody else has their own issue. And also being a female jazz musician, Asian, you also get a lot of attention too. So it's not just downside. You get a lot of attention. So I'm not complaining. It's different. It's just everyone has different life, and if you can channel your mindset to a good state of mindset, then you are super. You don't need to worry about what other people say.
True. I always again I have to say I admire you for that, because I know after you leave Taiwan, after you left here, I really think that you sort of you found yourself, like sort of you found a new life, and that's I could see that, like you're different. It's just
because I know
different. I think it's
because after a while you kind of know why I do this decision back then, so you kind of start to realize, understand yourself more and more, and you can feel more comfort.
Yeah. You know what? That means we're getting older. Okay, come on.
Yes.
Okay. Admit that we're getting older. That too. All right. Yeah. Okay. But then a little bit of like time. I mean, question about the future. Like, what's your next step? I mean, right now you've got your first album out, and it was like it won critical reviews, and I mean critical meaning very you've got a lot of attention, and you also won some very like prestigious awards in Taiwan and in the States. I mean, maybe not awards, but what about like your future? Oh, there was I think
there's a question.
Would you like to answer that first? Like, artist visa, because I know we talked about this, I think 2 weeks ago with my other student, but sure. Would you like to share?
So artist visa. I just artist visa, every 3 years you have to renew, and I have a lawyer to help me out with it, because you have to collect a lot of different documents, all the performance you played, all the venues, and you have to also provide, if you have some interviews, any magazines, if you ever won any awards, you have to put all the materials together. And you also have to have this employment letter. So for example, if I play in your band, you have to sign a letter for me and prove that in the next 3 years you will be in my band. Those kind of employment letter, you need to have like 5. and you need to also have recommendation letters from a radio host, like someone related to the scene, to the music scene, but also you don't know him. That's the most powerful letter, because if you know him, then they are like, oh, of course you're gonna write this letter for him. So you have to like have those kind of connections too. You have to have the strong connections. You also have to have those kind of connections. I don't know. And you just put all the package together and you hand it in. Yeah. It's a long process.
Can I do this in Chinese a little bit? Like, because this part I like to explain a little bit, I mean, clearer for some of those from our students who are listening right now. Okay, is that okay? 芊芊 is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Totally.
其实呢，刚刚芊芊跟我在聊到的，对，芊芊跟我刚刚在聊到的就是那个艺术家签证。那它这个签证比较不同是，它是3年才要更新一次。然后呢，当你要拿到这个签证的时候呢，其实因为刚好几周前，我们刚好跟另外一位在纽约，其实他现在也在纽约的一位设计师，我们就有聊到，因为他也是刚拿到，你是在 renew 啦，你是在更新。那个签证的话呢，我们会强烈建议大家去找律师。真的，你需要一个专业的人士去帮你去处理，不管是看你有没有一些文件漏掉，或者是什么样是最对你有利的哈。那刚刚芊芊用英文已经讲得也非常清楚了，但是我再解释一下，就是说你必须找到推荐信，你要找到推荐人，而且你要搜集大量的一些证据显示你对美国政府是有用的。OK， 这真的是事实。然后呢，你必须要去做一些等于说是记录啊，还有什么。所以如果说要申请这个签证的朋友，我们会强烈建议，就是说你真的要做准备，而且真的要找专家来帮你，不要省那个事情，真的。然后呢，就是很多的过程，像是你说你可能在找雇主的时候，你都可以跟他讨论这些，然后想办法争取，而且常常用不管是 LinkedIn 或者是各种的 connection 来获得一些推荐信，那这样子都可以让你申请比较成功。芊芊我说的对吧？
很对，但是有很多细节就是可以再问老师。
不是在问老师，在问律师，谢谢。OK。
对，在问律师。
对，因为我能够说的只是，因为其实我不是做这个的嘛，你也知道，但是我只是跟大家说，因为我在留学界待太久了所以就是说我只会跟大家说，就是美国签证真的不好搞。就是说其实就是变成有很多东西大家需要去注意。OK。So anyway, visa is a very tough thing. Like for artist visa, you probably need to get a lot of, recommendation letter and everything. But then if it's for other things like work visa, green card, that's a totally different business. And you probably have to find a great lawyer to help you out. I think that's a recommendation. But anyway, so someone asked the question. Hopefully we answer the question. And
one of the most important thing, you have to have some money saved up.
That's really very, very practical and realistic.
Because the lawyer fee is just ridiculous high, and if you want to get a green card, then that's another number. So start to save your money if you want to stay in this country.
Come on, I'm just about to say that marry an American. Okay, now I'm just, what? That's probably
that can work too.
I was surprised that you didn't say that first. Okay, come on. Right? No.
Because I got many people offer that, and I was like,
no. Man. Okay, guys.
No, but
it was totally popular. So yeah, you guys don't have a chance. Okay.
No, I mean, that's just okay. I'm gonna shut up.
No, don't. I'm just saying that it's a very realistic thing. If you get married, you marry someone with green card and with the citizenship, then you're just like safe. I mean, you probably can stay there forever, just like that. But then that's another thing though. But don't marry because of that. Thank you. But I would say that but I'd say that that's another option. But so we talked about the future, okay, because I was about to ask you something, and we answered the question. So I was about to ask you like your plans. I mean, COVID, I wouldn't say it's going away, but then things are getting better. I mean, the whole situation. I know you're performing again, and Can you tell us a little bit about what happened during the COVID, like in New
Oh,
York?
yeah. I was
Terrible?
just doing nothing.
Was your-
It was terrible. Like everybody was just staying at home, you know. And the thing is, that's not the terrible part. The part is you don't really know what's gonna happen, you know. And we are just here by ourselves. We were not here with families, so I think that anxiety is like very settled somewhere in your heart, but it's not really obvious. But everybody was just like, what the fuck is going on right now? You know, that kind of vibe.
We have to edit this film so many times.
So
No, I'm
much.
just kidding.
Yeah.
No, you know what?
But I had to
We
say
have
that
so
to
many
express.
F words today, but I know. Hey, but my interviews with other students were like confirmed the story. I mean, everyone was nervous. Haven't you, during this time, even till today, thought of coming back to Taiwan, like for just a while or something?
No, because I know if I go back, I will make no money.
Okay.
Because my instrument is really special and that not many people want to learn. So I think no, I didn't think about going back to Taiwan. I was just like, I'm just hang on to there.
No. It's a terrible time. I mean, a lot of my students just came back. Some of them just dropped out of school. Not really dropped out of school, but they just called a stop, and then they deferred their registration, and they just moved back to Taiwan for a year until things got better. And yeah, you just stick around. You just stick around. And I have to say that one of my students even got COVID, and she told me it was because when the pandemic first started, she tried to wear a mask in New York. She was in New York, but then a lot of people didn't wear masks at all in New York City. And if you wore mask, it was as if you were infected, like you were like you were the disease.
Yeah, but I think that
was terrible.
That period of time only happened for like 1 week or less than a week. And after that, everybody was wearing masks in New York. At least in New York. Yeah.
No, she told me about the Asian hate. Like at that time, she was also worried to go out all by herself because she was a little worried. Did that happen to you? Like, did you feel that?
No. The Asian hate, no, that didn't happen to me, but I don't want that happen to me.
Of course not. I was saying because she said she was a little worried when she went out, even when she went out to take the suburbs.
It's really scary. I just don't go out. It's really scary.
Oh my gosh.
If I go out, sometimes I'll just have my hood on, the hat. The hood.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, and I will always tie my hair and just hide my hair in my hood, and I just just don't bother me. Yeah. So when you are outside late, you kind of have to have
definitely.
You need to have an attitude. Yeah, so people don't mess around with you. But that's just New York. That's even before Asian hate.
Yeah. That's before. That's just New York. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but she said she felt that, like she felt this insecure, this atmosphere, and she was just very uncomfortable. And she got COVID. When she got COVID, she said she was just like, she thought that her life was gonna end. She told me one morning when she got up, she couldn't taste anything. She couldn't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and she lost her taste. I was like, what?
Yeah.
She said that she couldn't smell all those wonderful smells, and she was so shocked.
Yeah.
She was so shocked beyond words.
You totally understand that. I think when COVID got really serious, all the everything got locked down. I don't know. I was just practicing like 8 hours a day.
I see.
Because I was like, there's nothing I can do, and I don't want to fall behind. Because I was always very hard on myself. So that's why I was okay, I can use this whole time to practice. So I was like on top of my practice schedule. I didn't care what happened outside, and I was just in my room practicing all the time. So that's why I didn't go back to Taiwan, because I don't want to waste my time.
Wait. What? Right? You were a Virgo, right? You were a
no
Virgo.
Libra.
You're a Libra or something.
I'm in between.
Yeah, I thought that's something like you're in between or something. I'm not saying that I have this thing for star signs, but I thought I remember like you could get into the stubbornness of yourself, but then
I totally can. Yeah, I'm very hardcore. But actually, but now I don't do that anymore. But like the first 2 months, I was practicing hard every single day.
Oh man.
Cause so I missed out. Everybody was going back to Taiwan. I just missed out. I know. The second I realized everybody was already in Taiwan, and I was like, oops, I'm still here. And it's kind of okay as long as I don't go outside. So I just kind of stay.
Okay. Yeah, it's refreshing. Yeah, it's a very interesting idea. Like you practice to the end of the world, and everyone suddenly gone, and the pandemic was over. Okay, that's kind of nice. It's good thought. Yeah.
I just focused on that one thing, and it was fine. I guess that's the way I kind of hide my anxiety just through practice.
I think you're in hiding. Yeah, I think. Yeah. But you know what? When you have a kid, you cannot do that. Yeah, my son was with me all the time. I can't just like hide somewhere, bury myself in work. I can't. It's just this living, jumping thing right next to you. It was a little different. But I have to say, we're off topic again. Why are we always talking about silly things sometimes? But I'm saying
that's the best part. Those are the best part.
I know. But then plans, come on. Your future, your plans, okay? What are your plans for the future?
So I really want to drop another record next year. So now I have to really sit down in front of piano and start to write my new compositions. That's the most exciting things for me.
Yeah.
In my heart, it doesn't matter anything happen outside, but just my goal.
Yeah, I mean, because the pandemic and all those, I think the darkest time has sort of passed. So you're performing again, and you have to make some plans for the future. But I wonder, so you mentioned that because of your instrument, you might just want to stay in the States like forever. Is that real? Like you're gonna be in America? Have you ever considered like moving back to Taiwan somehow, maybe later in your career, maybe somehow?
I really want to move back to Taiwan. I love Taiwan. But like for my career wise, I feel like I need to stay here for a little longer. But also it depends on my future family,
True. Yeah.
Like if I'm married to someone who's who lives in Taiwan.
You're not dating right now. You're not dating.
I'm not dating right now. But I'm just saying.
You're a workaholic. Come on. We're just saying.
But who knows?
Okay. Yeah. Maybe you'll get married tomorrow. I'll be the last to know. Okay. You're suddenly get married. I was like, what? I click on Facebook one day, and then you're suddenly wearing a ring or something. Okay. There was a friend who was asking what instrument.
Vibraphone. Yeah.
Okay. But then actually, I was saying because I think a lot of Taiwanese would eventually move back because of their families. Not I mean your husband and maybe your future kids, but I mean because of your parents. Maybe your parents would like you to move back. Would that happen?
They don't have any. They are not. They let me go everywhere. They don't.
Okay.
Vibraphone.
Okay. Yeah. So your parents are very supportive. Like so you can stay Yeah, in the States and everything. Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah. Okay. Again, I have to say, I think your mom is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, she is
very cool. And I remember one of your comments and saying that she pushed you really hard somehow. I was like, no, Qian Qian pushed herself very hard somehow.
So yeah, my mom never pushed me, actually.
I don't know.
She was just saying that for fun, but she didn't really push me.
You sure? Are there other stories here we need to dig
in? I think she pushed me so hard when I was very little, but at one point I started to push hard for myself and she stopped. Yeah, it's more like that.
Okay, I wouldn't label her like one of those tiger moms, okay?
She is.
Oh, she is. Okay, all right.
She used to beat the shit out of me and my sisters.
Oh man, we're talking about domestic violence here.
No, don't worry about. No, that's totally fine because the world is different. Back then it was fine, and I didn't get traumatized. Did I say it right? I didn't think that was too bad.
You didn't get any trauma, but I have to say that hey, you're younger than me. I was never beaten up by any of my parents. So I would say that. Are you sure that's not just a parent thing, your family? No, but it turned out to be okay. All right, you're very healthy mentally and physically. Thank you.
Yes.
So I think everything's fine. But then so your future plan. I mean, in the foreseeable future, you're gonna stay in the States, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. But any
for now. Mm-hmm.
But any like goals, like dreams, like I know you have your first album out and then you're hatching the second one, but what's your goal, like to get to the top 5 of the jazz musician list, or what is your goal? I mean, if that's a dream, it's okay, but what's your goal or what's your dream? Have to ask you that, right?
God, this is too hard. I wonder if I should tell
dream?
You that. Yes, dream. But I don't really. I've never told anyone about this.
Okay, you don't have to tell me. I hate super big secrets because I'm like, what is that? I feel like I'm obliged to keep the secret. I'm gonna be like, hey, a lot of people are witnessing this right now. Okay, come on, hey, you guys on Facebook and Instagram, come on.
It's more like I'm chill. Whatever happened will work. I don't really care about what level I get to in jazz. I just feel like I just want to be happy. I want to be like mentally stable, peaceful. That's it. That's all I want.
Are stable. Okay.
Yeah. I am, but I want to always be like this. Like. Mm-hmm. And whatever happens. I don't really feel like I have a goal that I need to be like the top players. No.
Yeah.
I think I care more about the person who is close to me, who I love, and I just want them to be well and mentally stable, everybody, and that's it. That's how we get through this whole life, right? I don't have big goals.
Wow.
I mean,
that's so spiritual, you're getting really spiritual here.
But that's true because I have nothing I really want. I mean, I want financial freedom.
Yeah. Because
I want freedom in general, even financially. Okay. That's what I want. Yeah. I don't know.
No, you'll get there. I mean, actually, I think you're getting there because a lot of musicians start out really, I wouldn't say really poor, but then start out with nothing. And then they build things up and they start to gain some fame. I think fame is, some people say that fame would, of course, benefit and harm you at the same time. But I say that it really depends on your attitude. I think you have the right attitude. Like fame would really just be something that can help you, I guess. Yeah.
I remember.
Oh gosh, so you're not coming back to? What?
I remember one of my friends asked me, "Oh, don't you want to be more famous?" I was like, "No," and then he was like, "But that will bring you money," and I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." I started posting on my Instagram and then Facebook. I have to do social media and all that stuff.
Okay, so we get a Taurus out of you. I'm a Taurus, everyone. 大家我是金牛座. You know what? Usually these words would come out of my mouth. Like 金牛座 would be like saying, a Taurus would say, you know what? Show me the money. No, I'm just kidding. But usually show me the money kind of things would not come out from a Libra, okay? 就是天秤座一般不会这么实际吧 But anyway, but it's true.
No, you want to know?
And everything.
Want to know? 我的上升在金牛座。
What? Okay, we start to explain everything because Chen Chen just told me that if I study her, zodiac and signs, you discover that her hidden side, especially the ones about her personality, somehow falls into the Taurus sign. Okay, so which means we have a lot in common. Is that what you're trying to say?
Okay. Totally.
You know what? Yeah. Okay, I get the practical part out of you now. But then I have to say that after so many years, because I think I've known you for at least 8 years or something. I mean, after so many years we've known each other, I would say that I really see that you become more confident and you have a career now. Honestly, you have a career now, and you've built everything really all by yourself. Like, it's just, I know that the time you left Taiwan, you didn't carry all these, I mean, if not fame, but at least you're not carrying all those things. Like, you didn't tell everyone like, hey, I came from the best music school in Taiwan. I have this and that. No, you just brought yourself to the States and then you built everything. Yeah, so I have to say that
a lot of people help me out.
No doubt. But I bet. But you just I could see that everything. It's been wonderful. Yeah, so you know what? Wonderful. My son, because I was telling my son about you earlier today, and I just realized that we haven't seen each other face to face for so many years though. Because even if you'd come back to Taiwan, probably you were busy, so we never had any chance to like meet face to face. This is like the rare opportunity. Like, we see each other at least like here. Okay, we're looking at each other. But then still the COVID and everything would just keep people apart somehow physically. So I have to say that it's really been a long time. I'm really glad that I see you in person. Now, this is good, okay? I hope that I could see you very soon, because I think the quarantine, I'm not sure about the quarantine. The quarantine might be lifted maybe next year or something if things get better.
Oh, I really hope so. Please, I want
like
to go back so bad.
Visit. Maybe like 3 days or 4 days thing.
No, I will totally go, but because of the quarantine, that's just too long. Yeah.
Well, I think that it's just it's too long I really want to go skiing somewhere. Again, you can't go anywhere. So this winter is such a waste, okay? Nowhere to go, but stay positive, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. But one last thing, because right now I have to say that after the pandemic, you just told us a bit about the opportunities, the job opportunities in the States, especially for musicians. But if still, I mean, some of my students who are music majors still wants to study or perhaps stay in the States or to work in the States, what would you recommend them to do aside from joining some workshops or building some connections? What would you try to tell them, like for those who are really looking forward to going to the States or to look up to you as their role model? Like, wow, I could be like Qian Qian in the future. What would you share with them? What would you like tell them?
I think you just have to get your chops ready. You need to get your stuff ready. You need to have something you want to say. And the best thing is to just go record a record. But I mean,
you mean Taiwan? If they're in Taiwan.
If they're in Taiwan.
If they're in Taiwan.
That would be a good thing too, because I always feel like that's a responsible thing to do as a musician, to put out a record, but so people can hear you, but I think it's really important to show up always on time to a rehearsal or to a show. That's really practical, but that's really important because people talk shit behind you. So if you don't do things well, people talk, especially in Taiwan. Taiwan is a very small music scene. So just be responsible and be nice to people. Yeah, be nice.
How nice?
How nice?
Don't talk shit behind them. But
I mean, it's fine, but like you need to have a boundary. Sometimes you feel like if you really have to say no, then you say no. But just be flexible. But sometimes you say no when you feel like it. But just be responsible and just be really good. Just try to be really good. Try to be good. Try to listen to people when they are playing, not just playing your stuff. You listen to other people because everybody wants to be heard, right? So if you know how to listen, then people likes you.
But another thing is about the crafts. I mean, they have to practice a lot. I know you work yourself to the bones. I mean, you work really hard. But then for a lot of students, they probably didn't realize the hard work that have to be put forth. I mean,
it's so really hard,
right?
You need to have the discipline. But I'm not worried about the students who live in Taiwan though, because we feel like a lot of them have a lot of discipline compared to the students in the States, because a lot of them had pretty much no discipline. Yeah, but like I feel like the friends I met, Asian from Taiwan or other countries, Asian countries, we all have a lot of discipline. So just stick with that.
Okay, yeah. But I bet that a lot of maybe, I don't know, a lot of students of mine would still have some questions. Is it okay for me to like refer them to you somehow?
Yeah, totally.
Because a lot of them still wonders what they can do in the States or if they could make it somewhere else, like other than Taiwan. But I think, you set a really good example. Like you were out there, you put yourself out there, and you're very successful. I mean, I know you have those ups and downs, but like the result is really good. So, I mean, I'd say that you can be a really good role model for them. Yeah, I'll probably refer some of my students to you though. Like, call Qian Qian and she will tell you what to do. Like, quit your job and then move to the States, get some money ready. But then I'm serious. I mean, I bet a lot of students want to be like
that. I mean, I still have a lot of things to learn, but I will tell them what to do, my opinion. But yeah.
Thank you.
Yay.
Because Taiwanese, I think we are pretty we're a small group. I mean, I have to say we're still a small group. Like maybe there are more Chinese than Taiwanese in the States, but we help each other. I think we really help each other out.
Totally.
So I'm always down to do that. I look forward to your second album, which will probably come out next year. Yeah, but one little tiny thing. I've been meaning to ask you this. Can you share with everyone how you practice your English? No, not, don't say that have a boyfriend kind of thing again, okay? I'm serious. I mean, and I know that you talk to people all the time. I know, okay, that's a very good way. That's a great way to practice English. But how do you practice English? How do you train yourself? You have to face a reporter, or because you were interviewed by the reporter in the States. So how do you practice your English in it? How do you do that?
I actually never be able to sit down and just practice my speaking. But I mean, except for boyfriends, I also have a job that I need to pick up phone calls all the time. So I think if you can figure out what people are talking about in the phone, then you can talk better in the real life. And also, I always just ask if they speak too fast. I'm just like, can you please say that one more time? And sometimes people will get upset, over the phone. But you,
yeah, no, this is a good
yeah,
point.
but like I always just.
Yeah, because actually that's the best way. I mean, try to be very honest. Some of my students say that they would feel embarrassed when they can't understand other people. But I tell them that if they keep on like smiling, like fakishly, like that would be worse, okay? Because they might say something that's terrible, but then you don't get it and you look like a stupid person, like so that's actually not the best way to go. Yeah, but your English improved a lot. Okay, your English improved so much.
But I will just ask them. I will ask them on that point. Like if I don't understand, I'll just ask right away.
That's a good point. And then you improve, right? You learn something and then you improve. Yeah, definitely a good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, actually, I think the person who's asking you the question is one of my speakers. I think she'll be one of my speakers in the next few weeks. She lives in New York City too. She's a nurse. And she's a practice nurse. So I'm gonna interview her, I think, in a few weeks. Yeah.
Yes.
She's listening to this. She's
listening
because I was really worried about her when the pandemic started. So I kept on asking and checking her out, like, is she okay? Because she worked in the hospitals. Yeah. So, so they, and she said she was okay, but she was tired every day, in and out. And so I wanted to interview her. She was a very special student of mine. So I hope that she could also share some interesting stories about her life in New York. Okay, so we finished, like it's about 2 hours, okay? And you have to go to work, right? At least your class will start at 1:30 or something. Did you say 1:30?
1 p.m. 1 a.m.
Oh
1
no,
p.m.
oh no. Okay, you know what? 1. And you need to have lunch, okay? So come on, we have to wrap things up, okay? We're gonna wrap things up. Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much for being here, and I can't believe that I can't believe that we choose to speak in English, okay, all the way, and so that was amazing. Okay, that's amazing. That's a first for me. Okay, to conduct an English interview with a Taiwanese student and who actually speaks Chinese. So I'd say that this is a first for the two of us, I guess. So anyway, very nice having you. Okay,
yes.
And we're gonna say goodbye to our friends at Instagrams and also at our friends on Facebook. Can we do this in Chinese though, to put up this ending thing like in Chinese? Is that okay?
好，中文。
好，我们可以切换回中文了哈 ，OK， 好，我们全部的偷偷的奇怪的故事都是用英文讲的，所以如果大家很想要知道一些心酸血泪内幕的话，请想办法练好你的音听，不是还要再重新听这一次的 interview， 不过太残忍了，2个小时英文练习耶，但是我们真的很高兴芊芊在，而且呢就是其实我真的很高兴，就我每次丢芊芊都说没有问题，老师我一定会出现的，我表演完我就会出现咯哈，我真的觉得这实在是太情意相挺了，赞 OK， 继续推广你的专辑，对，所以如果说大家想要追踪一下芊芊的话，我想也没有问题，都可以找得到他。然后呢，其实对，他们的直播真的也差不多，一般都是2个小时，所以时间也差不多了。然后台湾，你看我现在还坐在这儿，我到底为什么还坐在这，对不对？就表示我半夜1点呢。1点的 workaholic，
还在办公室，你真的是
没有问题，差不多，好不好 ？OK， 嘿嘿，你少来。所以呢，其实就是我跟大家准备 say goodbye 哈，对不对？这个很心虚的人，对不对？哈，所以我们今天就差不多到这边，我们先跟我们的 Instagram 上面的朋友们说拜拜了，然后也非常谢谢今天的朋友。Thank you so much for listening to our interview and thank you so much for joining us. OK。所以我们先关我们的 Instagram 咯，大家拜拜。
拜。